Well, we sure have an exciting open to 2017. Thanks for clicking on to the Wednesday edition of Vogan'S US Outlook. We've got one system pulling away into eastern Canada. We've got another system pulling out of the northeast. And cold air is now starting to penetrate into the central portion of the country. We do have a 1040 high over western Montana, bringing some of the coldest air of the season so far to this region of the country, as well as parts of the interior part of Washington. We do have some heavy snow and strong winds across Oregon, and it's all associated with this area of low pressure here to the north of Truckee in California, where we've got very heavy snowfall, upslope snows through the Sierra Nevada. We've got some heavy rainfall spreading down the coast through the Bay Area. And this area of low pressure is going to be responsible for some form of mischief over the southeastern half of the country. But you can see here heavy snowfall, very strong winds with a tight pressure gradient here between Montana and northern parts of Colorado. You squeeze the isobars, snowfall, and very strong winds, probably in excess of 60 miles an hour, blowing through some of the open plateau regions of Wyoming. We're going to see some very, very hazardous driving conditions through Wyoming as we push through the course of today. Very chilly here to the north of the system under the high pressure. That system is going to make inroads across Colorado, and then as you can see here, the GFS is indicating that we do have some form of snow pushing down through Oklahoma and into North Texas. That area of low pressure, instead of cutting across the plain states as expected, it seems to be taking a bit of a dive down into New Mexico here. And as we start to push down through the weekend, that area of low pressure kind of reforms off the Gulf Coast here, and you can see here that the cold air really just drifts all the way down into the midwestern half of the country. It's going to remain very, very chilly in this part of the world here through the course of late week and into the weekend here. Moderating temperatures here, if you notice here across the interior west here, where it's been so cold of late. The reason why is we're starting to see thickness values come up, wind direction changing uh, towards a more southerly or southwesterly direction. So modest brand cold here starts to develop, while the core of the cold slides into the central and eastern part of the country. But it's all eyes this weekend on a system that has the potential to bring a mix of rain, sleet, and snow, as well as ice to parts of the southeastern half of the country. The GFS went wild yesterday. It's now completely turned, and it is not a big deal here for the southeast, although, of course, snowfall in areas such as Atlanta, when you do get it and you do get accumulation, it does cause problems down here because of you don't have the snow plows that you have up further north. Next big system comes piling into the western half of the country as we push towards the latter half of the weekend. As you can see here, that big system now clearing off the east coast, replaced by a cold air mass with a 1047 high to the southwest of Minneapolis. But that next big system here, this is the bombardment of Pacific low pressure that we've been seeing of late. But you notice here, this is a warmer system. You don't have the same amount of snowfall associated with it. The heights are coming up. The temperatures are nowhere near as cold. The direction of that Pacific low is coming in from a more southerly angle here, as opposed to the current system that's coming through, which has a lot more cold air associated with it. The cold air is kind of pushed back into Canada once again, while the current cold air mass eventually starts to push towards the east coast. So we're going to see a rise in temperature as we push towards the late week and into the weekend for the western half of the country here, which is going to be quite interesting. That's it for today. I will hopefully have a written post later on, and I'll be back in the next day or so. Bye for now.